It's Ball Hub. Football history starts here. Subscribe, like, and share now. What if I told you that the greatest football generation we have ever seen is preparing for its final World Cup? A moment where history stops repeating itself and starts ending itself. No second chances. No rewind. No next tournament for some of the greatest names football has ever produced. Just one last dance. The FIFA World Cup 2026 is not just another tournament. It is a final stage. A closing chapter. A moment where legends who defined an entire era may step onto the pitch for the last time on football's biggest stage. Welcome to Ball Hub. For more than 15 years, football has been ruled by a generation of extraordinary players. Players who changed the game, broke records, created rivalries, and built memories that will never be forgotten. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar Jr, Luka Modrić, and many more. They are not just footballers. They are living history. And now, the question the world refuses to avoid is simple. Is 2026 the final dance? Lionel Messi is a name that does not need introduction. A player who turned football into art. A player who made impossible dribbles look normal. A player who carried the weight of Argentina for more than a decade before finally lifting the World Cup trophy in 2022. But football never stops asking questions. Even after greatness, it demands more. In 2026, Messi will once again be at the center of global attention. Not as the rising star. Not as the young talent. But as the legend who has already conquered everything. And still, the question remains. Can Messi do it one more time? Can he walk into another World Cup, at an age when most players have already retired, and still influence the biggest matches on earth? Imagine Argentina in a knockout match. The stadium is full. Pressure is unbearable. The game is tied. Minutes are running out. And then Messi stands over the ball. The world goes silent. Not because they expect something normal, but because they expect something magical. That is what Messi represents. Not just goals, not just trophies, but moments that stop time itself. But even magic has an ending. Cristiano Ronaldo is another story that feels almost impossible to believe. A player who built himself like a machine. A player who refused limits. A player who turned discipline into greatness. Where others slowed down, he adapted. Where others declined, he evolved. Where others disappeared, he remained. Even as age increased, Ronaldo continued to score, continued to compete, continued to prove that mentality can sometimes defeat time. For more than 2 decades, he has been a symbol of ambition, a symbol of hunger, a symbol of refusing to accept defeat. But now, even legends face reality. The 2026 World Cup may be the final stage where Cristiano Ronaldo steps onto football's biggest battlefield. And if it is, then the question becomes emotional and simple. Will his final chapter end in glory? Or silence? Will he walk away with one more unforgettable moment that defines his legacy forever? Or will football move forward while leaving him behind in memory alone? Because that is how football works. It does not pause for greatness. It replaces it. Neymar Jr. represents something different. He represents flair, creativity, emotion, and unpredictability. From the streets of Brazil to the biggest stadiums in the world, Neymar has always played with joy, with rhythm, with imagination. But his journey has also been filled with pressure, criticism, expectations, injuries, and moments where the world demanded more than any single player could give. For Neymar, football has never been simple. It has always been emotional. And in 2026, that emotion reaches its final stage. This could be his last chance to lead Brazil on the world's biggest stage. His last chance to turn talent into legacy. His last chance to silence doubt forever. Brazil is not just a team. It is a nation of football expectation. And Neymar carries that weight every time he steps on the pitch. In 2026, he may carry it one last time. But unlike the past, this time there is no future promise. Only present reality. and history waiting to be written. Luka Modrić is a different kind of legend. Not loud, not flashy, not always the center of attention, but intelligent, calm, precise. A player who does not dominate with speed or strength, but with vision. Modrić sees football differently. He understands space, timing, and movement in a way that few players in history ever have. He is the kind of player who does not need to run fast, because he is always already where the game is going. As time passes, his role changes. But his influence never disappears. And 2026 could be the final time the world watches his midfield mastery on the World Cup stage. The final time we see passes that split defenses like they were invisible. The final time we see calm under pressure in its purest form. But while legends prepare for their final dance, the world is already changing. A new generation is rising. Kylian Mbappé represents speed, confidence, and ambition. Jude Bellingham represents control, maturity, and intelligence beyond his years. Vinícius Jr represents unpredictability and attacking fearlessness. Jamal Musiala represents technical brilliance and creativity. They are not here to replace the legends immediately. They are here to learn from them. To inherit the game step by step. Because football does not change overnight. It transitions. And 2026 is that transition point. A moment where two eras meet. One preparing to end. One preparing to begin. And in the middle, the world watches history unfold. This is Ball Hub.